Boris dismisses UK fishing sell-out and issues brutal no-deal ultimatum, UK will walk. Boris Johnson warned Brussels last night Britain will walk away without a deal if it refuses to compromise in the final days of talks. The Prime Minister said the negotiations are stuck and told the EU it must accept the UK will take control of its laws and borders. Speaking from Number 10, he insisted the country can certainly cope with any difficulties caused by moving on to World Trade Organization (WTO) rules from January 1st. He said, the position is unchanged. There are problems. It is vital everybody understands that the UK has got to be able to control its own laws completely and also that we have got to be able to control our own fisheries. And it remains the case that WTO terms would be more than satisfactory for the UK and we can certainly cope with any difficulties that are thrown our way. Mr. Johnson said he still believes the country will prosper mightily, whether a deal is struck or not. Lord Frost will continue talks with EU negotiator Michel Barnier today in Brussels with just 9 days left until transition arrangements expire. But sources close to the negotiations said discussions remained difficult with fishing and state subsidies still holding up a deal. Government sources also rejected claims the UK has offered concessions on fishing quotas to secure a deal. EU insiders said Lord Frost was prepared to lower his demands for future fishing quotas if Brussels agrees to back down in other areas of the agreement. But the claim was dismissed by UK sources, who said they don't recognise those reports at all. Scotland's First Minister Nicola Sturgeon and London Mayor Sadiq Khan called for the transition period to be extended. But the PM and Labour leader Sir Keir Starmer both opposed extending the deadline. The Prime Minister's official spokesman said, "Time is obviously in very short supply to get a deal done. We will need to ratify any agreement ahead of January 1st. The Leader of the House made clear that we would recall Parliament in order to give MPs a vote on the necessary legislation," he added. "We have been clear on this point that we will either leave the transition period on December 31st with a free trade agreement or we will leave with Australia-style WTO terms. That remains the case." Transport Secretary Grant Shapps said extending the transition period would add fuel to the fire by creating extra uncertainty. The European Parliament is now unable to ratify a deal by the end of the year after the Sunday deadline for a deal to be struck was missed. But EU leaders could provisionally sign off an agreement struck before the end of the year with ratification delayed until 2021.